Your daily habits dictate a lot about your leadership style and are a predictor of your future success. All right, ladies, today I'm diving into habits. Every Wednesday, I try to do a podcast based on habits and my reflection of the 75-day or 75 hard challenge. So again, if you want more details on the 75 hard challenge, go check out the past podcast recordings that I've done on that challenge. And I want to talk about habits in general today. And you may have noticed that the intro is a little bit different, where we're actually going to be doing a podcast today, and I'm talking about this why not you concept. And this has been interesting because what I have found with myself in general, and I'm going to talk about like holding mental boundaries with your thoughts. This was a theme of this week of women that I was talking to, also someone that was coaching me. And in general, and actually it was Terry Cole. I was speaking to her and we did a podcast interview and we were talking about boundaries because she has a book out called Boundary Boss. And I said, what's your perspective on mental boundaries, right? Like boundaries with your inner critic, boundaries with that little voice that says you suck and you're not good enough, boundaries with like the energy, right? Like your low vibration energy versus high vibration energy. And this is like a skill that she called it inner boundaries. And I said, is this advanced level? And she's like, no, it's an inner boundary. And this is something that I've been doing for a really, really long time. But the 75 hard challenge has really helped me refine it because the challenge, it's brought me through an emotional roller coaster. But every single day, there's always this one thought, this one story that I tell myself about how I'm going to sabotage or just stop the challenge. And it's like this thought or story that I tell myself, and I know I'm not alone because I'm a human being and everyone else is going to be like, I do that too. And it's around like, oh, I'll just quit today and I'll start again tomorrow. Just something like giving myself an out, like giving myself permission to just quit the challenge today. Like, oh, I don't need to work out today. Oh, I'm just giving myself a break today. And the funny thing is this challenge and habits in general, like I'm a huge fan of micro habits. So this challenge in general has not been about burning yourself out, especially when I started it and I was really challenging the word hard, because if you've heard me say it again and again and again, I actually don't believe in hard things. I believe in emotionally uncomfortable things. So yes, it was emotionally uncomfortable, but now that I keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again, I'm comfortable with my habits. I'm like, this is easy. But that story is still there, that sabotage story of like, oh, I'm good. I don't need to do that. No, I'm good. And then you start to go down this slippery slope, right? So there was a quote that I found, and it was actually like an Instagram story, a little reel or something like that. And it was a clip from somebody's interview, and I don't know who this person is, so I don't have a name. And the quote is, the reason most people fail is because they give up what they want most for what they want now. Let me repeat that again. The reason most people fail is because they give up what they want most for what they want now. I believe we all have our most. Like, we all have that bigger vision, that bigger dream. You may not know what it is. You may say, I don't know what I want. I don't know what that is, because you won't give yourself permission, or it's in there, but it's got layers and layers and layers and layers on top of it of self-criticism and judgment and shame and guilt and overwhelm and fatigue and illness and being a people pleaser. But it's in there. And if you want to find it, all you have to do is hang out with people that trigger the crap out of you because you're jealous and you're comparing yourself. Contentment is when you are allowing yourself to live your most life, what you want most. And you don't back down to your most, which is why in this podcast series, Why Not You? Like, why can't you go after what you want? Like, give me a reason why you can't go after what you want and desire. So I'm going to read the quote again. The reason why most people fail is because they give up what they want most for what they want now. So what do we typically want now in the moment? We want comfort. We want our pain to go away. We want emotionally, I'm not going to say easy. Okay, it's not about being easy. We want emotional ease. We're like, I just need a break. I just want to numb out. I don't want to feel, I just don't want to feel this. I just want to be numb. And then I hear people say, I feel dead inside. I literally feel dead inside and I feel numb because we haven't developed the habits of becoming our best self. And then when you start to feel good, which is kind of, where I'm at in this 75 hard process. I'm like, okay, I got this. It's routine now, right? I'm like, yeah, I got it. Well, guess what I want to do now? I'm like, I'm good. That's the glass ceiling. That's the upper limit coming out. That's where you're choosing to stay small because you're like, oh, I'm good. My cup is full. And then people get in this feast or famine cycle. People get in this all or nothing cycle. People get in this like, look, I had it all. Like, it was great. I had a really good month. And then all of a sudden now I'm having a shitty month. And I'm like, yeah. And part of that could just be because the wind changed direction. But part of it could also be your mindset. So going back to this concept of this mental boundary, these inner boundaries. Okay, so let's take this story, for example. This story of like, I'm good. I don't need more. I don't need more money. And then, the next sentence that comes out of your mouth is like, but I can't afford that. I don't need more money, but I can't afford that. It doesn't make sense. What's your desire? What's your most? Well, my most is to have this financial abundance. Okay. But what stories are you telling yourself? That I'm fine. I don't need more. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. Ooh, that feels too emotionally scary for me. The reason most people fail is because they give up what they want most for what they want now. Right now, you want to be emotionally comfortable. You don't actually want freedom. You want to feel comfort. You don't actually want emotional freedom. You want comfort. Do you understand what I'm saying? You say you want one thing, but your actions and habits dictate that you just want to be comfortable. Because you're choosing the now, you're not choosing the future. So you have to think about, how does the future you act? How does a person who makes 6 figures in their business, how does a person who makes 7 figures, $1 million, $2 million, $10 million in their business act? How do they act? How does a woman or person or parent who doesn't yell, what kind of habits does she or he have, or they have? What kind of habits, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, do they have around their boundaries of time and self-care? So going back to this inner habit, when I tell myself, you're good, Heather, you're good in this challenge, you've proved it to yourself, like you get the concept, yep, rinse and repeat, okay, yeah, I get it now. That is the slippery slope for backing down to the life that you want to be living. That's it. So I watch the story and that I tell myself. I watch that mental game that I play and I go, nope, not today, Satan. I cut it off. I have a boundary and I'm like, I'm not giving that mental story any more energy. No more of my fucking time. Done. Absolutely done. And then I ask myself, what action do I need to take? What action do I need to take? So then I put my shoes on and I go for my walk. I put my shoes on and I get out of the house. I put my shoes on, I go to the gym. I drink my water. I read my book. I do the email. I'm not hustling. I am so not hustling. These actions take about an hour and a half of my day, which means I have the rest of the day to do whatever the hell I want. And then I get to do things in alignment with how I want to feel. Yes, I got things to do for work. I got kids stuff. I got family stuff. I got my mom stuff because she lives with us. But the point is, I get to have boundaries with my resistance. I get to have boundaries with my fear. I get to have boundaries with my guilt and go, I'm not going to, fear, I'm just not going to give you any more energy today. Guilt, get away. Not today. I know what's better for me. I know what my future self needs. Habits. The reason most people fail is because they give up what they want most for what they want now. All right. Excited to have you here. Like I said, the Why Not You series is happening for the rest of the year. It's about facing our deepest fears, challenging guilt, and fighting to feel alive in order to become the woman, partner, parents, and leaders the world needs. I look forward to seeing you on the inside.